2020. It's the end of the year.
Yep.
We've survived it.
We did.
Barely.
2020. Another year in the books and another year of Millhouse not getting laid.
You jumped it before I could.
You realize that now you can never say that you haven't sucked dick?
I haven't.
Josh?
Oh, wait.
Zach?
Well,
We're witnesses.
Unfortunately, I witnessed it.
That wasn't a real dick.
What was it?
That didn't count.
That was a candy dick. And I didn't suck it.
We knew you were 50 Cent. We knew you were a 50 Cent fan. You went to the candy shop.
I didn't go to... Taylor bought it.
What does that matter?
I didn't buy it.
Sounds like he did you
I
a
would
favor.
not. Taylor bought it.
I'm just trying to get you more comfortable with yourself, Millhouse.
Oh my gosh.
It's okay, Millhouse. So 2020, the year Millhouse sucked a dick and didn't get laid.
Here we are.
Yeah. That's it.
I did get laid. But...
Continue.
I didn't suck a dick.
Only one of those statements is true.
Yeah. Thank you.
It has been a wild year, though, dude. 2020 has been a year of that. I don't think anyone of our lifetime that we've expected or been through. You know what I mean?
I remember at the end of last year, Zach and I were talking on the phone, and we said, 2020.
Yep.
This year's our year.
Yeah. I was like, shit is going to happen.
I remember,
this fucking year.
The end of 2019, man, was so good. Mm-hmm. Everything was so good. The beginning of 2020 was so good. I'm like, this year is it.
Yep.
We're going to all do it.
That's how I felt. Like, even like January, February, I was like, I don't know, like shit feels like it's coming together.
Right.
You know? Then out of nowhere.
The biggest thing of 2020, the overall 2020 subject, the COVID-19, the
pandemic.
Yeah.
The Corona.
Yeah.
That just fucked everything up.
It did.
Well, not only Corona, but just the response to it. You know what I mean?
That was the biggest thing.
And think back to, I was thinking this, when I go out now and I have to put on a mask and I see other people in masks, I'm like, honestly, if you describe certain details about the world this year to me when I was like in high school, I would have been like, oh, so we're living in a dystopian world.
For sure.
Because you wear a mask everywhere. Things are pretty much shut down still. Like, it's pretty wild.
Right. I mean, the people would make movies about this.
Yeah.
And we're living in it now.
Yep.
Who knew that Donald Trump being the president wasn't going to be the weirdest thing of our lifetime?
I know.
Absolutely.
That was a level of weird I was comfortable with because I was like, it's funny. The Corona thing is just not even entertaining.
Yeah, there's no comedy in Coronavirus.
There is no comedy in Corona.
To put a positive spin on 2020, I was employed the whole year. Didn't lose my job like a lot of people.
Yeah, same.
Unlike some people in this room, I got laid. So that was nice.
Same.
You know, did some entertaining stuff. We started a podcast to keep
Man of
ourselves,
Science, Man of Faith.
Right when shit shut down, we did that just to keep our brains sort of sharp because it felt like, fuck, man.
Yeah, dude, that was the toughest part about it. Honestly, like, pandemic aside, 2020 has been a great year.
I agree with that. It's like I was able to just recalculate where my life was because when coronavirus first happened, I just stopped pretty much doing everything.
Right. Yeah, coronavirus kind of gave everyone that breather. Like, all right, hold on. What are you really gonna do? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I feel like it was still easy to like fall into that trap of 2020 where it's like, you know what, it's okay, just sit on the couch.
Right.
A lot of people are using that as an excuse even now.
And I can't say I didn't have weeks where I didn't use that excuse. Of course, I mean, I had plenty of weeks. I'm definitely I'm ready for 2021. I'm ready.
Me too. Yeah.
Because the other thing I'll say, because I mean, you're a musician, I'm a writer, so we all appreciate like art, and
absolutely
that's a part of our lives. That's one thing I'll say 2020 pretty much took away.
Yes.
It's like there was nothing to really grab onto. I mean, a few
nothing
things,
to even watch, really. I mean, all the music that I liked from this year was all pop music. just like pop radio that had these big corporations backing it. I really like Doja Cat a lot. I liked Say So. I thought that was a great song. And then all the shit that's on TikTok, like Super Lonely, that's a great song. But there was very few things other than that besides Sturgill Simpson. He released his 2 bluegrass albums this year.
Cutting grass.
Cutting Grass.
Great stuff.
And then the Strokes released the new Abnormal, which came out right at the beginning of the pandemic, which I thought was kind of eerie, you know what I mean? Because the album's called The New Abnormal.
Right.
There was one other man who released new music this year.
Who?
A man I happen to vote for president. Kanye West.
Yes.
Nah. Great fucking song. It should be the fucking national anthem. That was really, I mean, new music. There wasn't a ton of new music I listened to. Like, the Sturgill Cutting Grass stuff was awesome. Tyler Childers did something similar. He put out like an instrumental album.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Like, he did Send in the Clowns by Sinatra. Like, that was kind of interesting, but it wasn't anything like, you know, I could grab onto. But besides that, I mean, it was that single by Kanye West, because that was when he was really in the heat of running for president, and it had some great lines. Only Kanye West, I'll say this. First off, one of the only people running for president who wasn't accused of sexual assault. Also, the only man who can unironically reference the Star Wars prequels and make it cool. Line of the year. Was it, "Don't jump, Anakin, I got the higher ground"? You're listening to it, you're like, did he just reference Star Wars?
Revenge of the Sith, dude.
I'm like, what the fuck? That should not be
episode
cool.
3, Revenge of the Sith, yeah.
Yeah, so that was pretty much it for me music-wise.
Everybody's talking about the fraud against Donald Trump, but nobody's talking about the fraud against Kanye.
Amen. I agree.
That is true.
I agree. Fucking
Man.
Democrats suing to get him off ballots. World would be a good place if Kanye won.
It's interesting, though, too, because I feel like the Democratic left wing is kind of Kanye's world in a sense.
It should be.
Which
You'd
it
think
should.
it would
Yeah,
be.
you think it would be.
You're
yeah.
Black Lives Matter. You think they'd be like, this guy's perfect.
Yeah, this is Kanye. You know what I mean?
No.
Huge, music icon. You know what I
Not
mean?
so.
Kanye West is fantastic.
I
You know
love
what, is
Kanye
it what
West.
anyone can say about Kanye West? He's easily one of the greatest rap. He's like the Tom Brady of rap.
Oh,
Is what
yeah.
Kanye West is.
Absolutely. Tom Brady when he was still on the
To me.
Patriots.
Yeah, exactly.
Tom Brady left the Patriots this year.
Yes.
I don't want to fucking talk about that. God, actually, you know what? Here's what 2020 also ruined. Fucking sports. I have never...
Yeah.
Like, the only sport I really keep up with is football. And first off, watching it is just a pain in the ass because it's like there are no fans there.
Yeah.
It just feels like you're watching, like, practice games. And, of course, Tom Brady betrayed me, left the Patriots. The Patriots fucking suck this year.
Yup.
But it's all right, though. It's a Corona year. It doesn't count.
Right.
Cam Newton's there. Cam Newton's the man.
Well, it's the same thing with baseball too.
Yeah, I watched a little baseball.
It was it was a shortened season. It was only 60 games, which is like a little less than half the
Yeah,
season.
extremely
crazy.
abnormal for MO. I feel like baseball and NASCAR just go on forever.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was no fans at all until the playoffs this year for baseball. Maybe even until the World Series. The Dodgers won this year, which was kind of cool because Mookie Betts is from Nashville. He left the Red Sox and went to the Dodgers.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He signed
That's
like a 10-year fucking contract with them.
Jesus.
But yeah, it was strange kind of watching because the one thing I didn't like, I thought was bullshit. I hate when they pump in the fan noise.
That's one of
Yeah.
the things I hate. The cheering, the fake cheering.
It's just like let us accept where we are.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, true.
It's like laugh tracks and TV shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah,
soften the
a little
blow.
bit. Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing with football that makes me mad because they only have one sound. They just have cheering.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not there to hear the cheering. I want to hear the fucking booing. You know what I mean? Like when the Pats are down, like I want to hear them get energized by people. You know what I mean? Patriots feed on hate, man.
Yeah, they do.
By their own
They
crowd.
really
booing.
do.
And they don't have hate this year, so they're not doing well.
Right. That is true. They do feed on hate.
Yeah,
Oh,
they just
man.
don't have it this year. But hey, I mean, we're still getting sports, I guess.
Yeah.
Still happening.
Yeah, it's still happening.
So I guess that's something.
Yeah, people probably would have rioted if the NFL wasn't allowed to have a season.
You think so?
I think it would have
I
made
think
people
so, too,
really
yeah.
fucking wild, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I guess as they're not as popular as they used to be, but I guess football is like still. I mean, a fucking
It's a religion in
part
America.
of
Oh, for
lives,
sure.
Yeah. So Yeah, I mean, I'm glad there's a season, but to me, I'm like not even viewing it as a real season.
Well, for me, man, working for a sports radio station in Nashville, in my mind, I was like, what do they talk about?
Yeah.
What do they have to talk about? There's nothing going on.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and imagine if no sports are going on, it's just like there'd be no point of them existing.
There wasn't even really any sports news because even when the trade deadline hit in the MLB, there was nothing to really report. There was maybe one blockbuster trade. But that's
Well,
it.
this is one of the troubles with 2020 because not only with sports, but then you have film, music,
Yeah.
television. So all these people who make a
There's
living-
nothing produced this year.
Yeah, so you turn to these people. It's like they have nothing to write about except COVID. So everyone has become a COVID expert. It's like I can't read a fucking movie review without someone being like,
saying-
COVID.
yeah.
Yes, here's the latest information I heard, and here's my opinion about what other people do. It's just like there was no escape from it. You know what I mean?
Did you hear the Tom Cruise meltdown?
Yes. Did you hear this, Josh?
No.
Okay, so go ahead, Milhouse.
No, I seen an article about it.
I haven't
But
seen.
you
I
didn't
haven't
listen
heard
to it?
anything about it.
All right, so you heard it, right?
I didn't listen to it. I just read like the transcript from it.
Listen, I am obsessed with celebrity meltdowns. I was
Yes.
literally at a girl's house on her bed, and she was changing. And I literally saw the audio, and I put it to my ear, and I'm listening to it. Gave it my full attention. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm listening to Tom Cruise yell at people." 1 second. This was last night or whenever. But yeah, Tom Cruise. So Tom Cruise, to give him credit, Mission Impossible 7, I think.
7.
They're filming overseas, and I guess when there was the shutdown, the industry shutdown, he was just like, fuck it. Like, we are rewriting. He basically wrote the COVID protocols to keep filming this movie, which was something like they keep them all isolated on ships, and there's social distancing and masks and stuff. And they kept filming, but this audio came out of him screaming at crew members, where he's just like, and you can hear he has a mask on. Every time people yell that they have a mask on, they sound so stupid.
Right.
But he's just like, because people were breaking the guidelines, the social distancing guidelines, and he was like, I don't fucking want to see that from anybody. You do that shit, you're fired. He's like, I'm on the phone with industry heads. I'm trying to save our fucking industry. And he's like, you can hear him pointing to people specifically. He's like, you, and especially fucking you. If I see you do that shit, you're fucking gone. On the one hand, you want to be like, he is an asshole in it,
Right.
But then you're kind of like, I mean,
He's trying to keep everybody employed too.
that was his
Right.
point, because he was like, look, people are in our industry, they're losing they're not paying their
Right.
mortgages, they're losing their jobs. So I'm 50-50 on it. I almost think it was calculated the way they released it.
You think so? To make him look good.
Tom Cruise is from the Church of Scientology. He fucking knows a thing or two about secret recordings. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think it was.
He's not gay, by the way, dude.
He is 100% not gay.
He's not gay, dude.
Tom Cruise.
I think it was a little calculated because it makes him look like an asshole. But if you read most of the reactions, it's like, wow, like Tom Cruise is really
Everybody's saying,
saving-
"What a hero!"
yeah.
Oh,
Which on the one hand, yeah, it was you're not wrong, Walter. You're just an asshole.
Yeah,
that's what
right.
it was. But yeah, that was interesting.
but that Mission Impossible 7 or 6 or whatever it is
Yeah.
is coming out.
oh, he's going to space too. That was another big announcement.
yeah, that's
Tom
right.
Cruise is going to
Making a
space.
movie.
Because of Elon Musk, right?
Yeah, did you hear about this?
No.
Yeah, he's Elon Musk. He's friends with him, and I guess he made some deal with Elon Musk and NASA. He's going to film a fucking movie in space.
But he's not gay, dude.
Yeah, he's not
Because a
running
gay
from
dude
it.
wouldn't do that in Tom Cruise's mind.
No.
Which you have to think, if you're about to go to space, like you've been meeting with NASA and Elon Musk, I'd probably be screaming at people too.
Right.
I'd be like, I am a god. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't stop me.
No, straight up.
He is the most powerful man in the entire world.
Yeah, Tom Cruise is definitely up there. I feel like people don't think about that.
He's a god?
That yes, like,
I mean, he's
like-
about to go to space.
right.
Tom
Like
Cruise runs
What
the
has
world.
Tom Cruise not done? Like
He's
he does his own stunts.
yeah, insane person.
He's insane.
person. But you know what? I go see his movies, man.
Yeah, I love
I'm all
Tom
about
Cruise,
it.
yeah.
I'll see the new Top Gun.
Here's what I'll say about COVID, though. It did empower a lot of weak-minded people, and it's given them the opportunity to
Yeah.
be weak.
A lot of virtue signaling.
Yeah.
That was one thing that's why I like the Tom Cruise thing. Kind of, it rubbed me the wrong way a little bit, but at least he had a point where he's like, look,
We're trying to keep people employed.
Yeah. So he
Because
wasn't.
they will shut you down for.
That's what he
Because
said.
yeah, man, I feel like that was the thing. I don't. For me, it was like when the coronavirus news. It was when the lockdown first really happened.
Your birthday weekend.
Yeah, it was my birthday weekend. I remember texting people having a birthday party saying, hey, come over, it's my birthday. And they're like...
We're all going to spit in each other's mouths.
Some people were like, yes. Some people were like, yeah, I'll come by. And some people are like, I don't know, man. This shit that's going on. I don't want to fuck with it. Yeah. And it's like, man, that's kind of, you know... And then like that after that weekend, it was, no, everything is shut down. No one's doing anything.
Yep.
And then for me, it kind of startled me. I was like, oh, this is some, you know, this must be serious. And then as time passed on, you can kind of see how politicized coronavirus became.
With the mask.
Yeah.
Exactly. How, you know, people's experience through it.
All while the election is going on.
Right.
Of course.
Coronavirus really reminds me of like, you know, on when you go on someone's like Gmail account, like a business's like Yelp account is what it is, and you read the reviews.
Oh yeah.
Coronavirus reminds me of that because like the media is telling you this, that, and this. But the people, when you like talk to other people and be like, "What's your experience with it?" They tell you, "Well, you know, this is this, that, and that." And
well, me and Millhouse both had corona.
Right. Mm-hmm. And you know, you hear about people that have coronavirus that are deathly ill. They, you know, need a ventilator, and then some people have coronavirus are like, I'm fine. You know what I mean?
That's
There's
what it was
nothing
for
wrong
us.
with me.
Yeah, I mean, I was well, first off, you both had corona. I got tested 3 times, no corona, despite all the gay sex we have. So I think is my blood the cure for corona? I'm not going to say yes, but I'm not going to say no.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
because you're the bottom, dude.
Yeah. That's one of the things that made me mad because my whole attitude the older I get, like I don't want to be involved in political debates. I don't want to be involved. My thing is just like live and let live. And with corona, it was impossible to do that
because you got pulled in no matter what.
Oh, I saw people screaming at people because they weren't wearing masks. I saw people not wearing masks, screaming at people wearing masks. They all annoy me because I'm just like, just put on a mask, don't put on a mask, just do whatever.
Right.
Like that was
keep living your life.
That was the big thing when it first started was people would scream. You'd see those videos, people screaming at people for not wearing masks. It's like, why not just leave them alone instead of making them scream and spread their germs everywhere? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, that's the thing. Like, with corona, I don't fucking know. Even the people who claim to know everything about it, their opinion changes every week.
Right.
I just want to live and let live. That's why I really want 2020 to be done. But this will carry over.
That's what I hope for 2022. I hope that
2021?
Or 2021,
He's already wishing
rather.
this year
Sorry.
away.
Yes.
He knows it's going to be shit.
I hope that everyone kind of just surpasses the bullshit, you know what I mean?
But
because there's always those people too, those like social justice warriors that are like, oh, look at all these people together. You know what I mean? Like I play,
but they got together for the protest for Black Lives
the
Matter.
protests were okay.
Exactly, because one thing that obviously as a musician that we ran into, there was no live music. I feel like the live music industry was hit the hardest, honestly.
And you get shamed for going to play gigs now.
Exactly, and that's where I was going with is, you know, a huge part of my income was just totally wiped away because we can't have shows. And there's been opportunities, you know, because of certain rules and regulations outside of certain counties, and we're allowed to do it. We'll go do it, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because this is our livelihood and this is what we came down here to do. And there's people that will
virtue signal and shame you for trying to make money.
Doing so.
So did you have, because you did a show recently, right?
Oh, yeah.
Did you have anyone personally give you shit about it? I mean, we're a little late now.
No one at the show, obviously. But we've had some
on social
people,
media.
On social media, we've had a few people.
Because I was going to say, I've had people that I know personally who could literally text me, but instead they've like publicly shamed me for certain things. They see, I mean, remember when theaters first started opening up, and what did we do? Me, Taylor, and Millhouse.
We went to go see Tenet.
We took Millhouse kicking and screaming. He said, Corona's going to kill me. Corona's going to kill me.
No,
we spit in his mouth and took him to see Tenet.
What movie was it?
Tenet.
Oh,
that's
nice.
what
Christopher Nolan movie,
yeah. But the point is, like, when I did that, or I'd take a picture doing something else, like, I had people shame me, be like I was doing something bad, but it's like, what more do you want me to do?
Right.
I'm wearing a mask. I'm social distance. What the fuck more do you want me to do? It's like, these people who think the answer is just to sit at home and do nothing, it's like, it's just not possible.
Right.
First off, you can't mentally live your life like that. And also, like, who the fuck's going to pay my bills?
Right.
You pay my rent? You know what I mean?
Well, it's empowered people who already do nothing,
Yes.
and it's giving them an excuse to be lazy, which is an unpopular opinion, but it's true. It's like
That's what I
during
hate,
this,
yeah.
we started Man of Science, Man of Faith.
Yep. We were outlaws. Remember, you weren't even allowed to come to my house to do that.
Yeah, and because we were locked down, but we were like, fuck it, we're going to do this because there was nothing else to do. We were sitting there talking every single night, just bored because originally it was only supposed to be 2 weeks that we were locked down for.
Yeah, we're now in week what of the 2 weeks shutdown?
Yeah.
Right.
Remember that?
We're on like month 9.
They
now.
were like shut down for 2 weeks and we'll solve everything. And here we are.
14 days to flatten the curve.
Yes, that's
Exactly.
It, yeah. 14 days flatten the curve.
And it's just a way of life right now that we're living under all of these restrictions. And who knows when they're going to be lifted because companies are terrified that they're going to get fucking sued, firstly.
Right.
That's what really this is, all legal bullshit. Because
Well-
if someone dies, then they're going to be seen as responsible.
Well, I was going to say, not to, I mean, I don't want to get political, but one of the things in the new legislation they're talking about, the stimulus legislation, not checks for us, by the way. Don't expect Trump bucks. But one of the things is insurance for businesses. In case people
Like
get
liability
corona.
insurance?
Yes,
Yeah.
Basically, the government's going
In
to step
case
in.
if some, you know what I mean?
But I'm going to say how, like some of these restrictions, to me, people who are like, I can't wait to return to normal, blah, blah, blah. That to me is ignorance because there are certain seismic events that happen. It's like, look, life never becomes the same. 9/11.
Yeah.
Look at what we were used to since then. You used to be
Yeah.
able to bring a fucking gun on a plane.
Yeah, you
could
could.
smoke in an airport. Now,
Right.
No box cutters anymore,
you
bud.
got to stand like this with your
Right.
arms up, like, oh,
Showing your dick,
Yeah.
showing your tits.
I'm a free man.
Go through
you know?
2 X-rays.
Yeah.
And then Snowden revealing the phone spying on you. I mean, remember
Yeah.
what a big deal that was? And now Josh and I could have a conversation about pizza.
Right.
And whatever pizza we mention, he'll see
What do you
an
mean
ad
by
for it.
pizza, bud?
I mean pedophilia. And like you'll see an ad for it later. It'll just be funny because it's like it's just a part of life now that you're
Right.
being listened to all the time. So to me, the COVID thing, certain things are going to stick around forever.
Well, I think COVID really just opened up the doorway to whatever timeline we're living in now. It just blew it open.
We're in a new timeline.
There's no such thing as normal now.
Yes.
Right.
And there never really fucking was. There was just the illusion of normal. And that has
Right.
been
Well, it's always
stripped
redefined.
away.
Redefined. I think it's been redefined again. I think, especially these people who virtue signal because they promote this idea that we're going to return to normal. It's like it ain't fucking happening.
No.
We'll return to some sense of normal, but I think there's
Yeah.
always going to be. I think the mask thing. Eventually, they'll get rid of the mask mandates, but I think people are still going to have to like carry them around and wear them in certain
Yeah.
areas.
We're going to have masks for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that it'll go people that won't wear a mask like regularly. You know what I mean? I know people that everywhere they go, they're wearing a mask. They're doing everything
yeah.
they can. You know what I mean? The Howie Mandel's of the world, they're going to keep wearing masks.
Yep.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yep.
They're always going to wear their gloves, wear their masks, and I think eventually they'll be like, look, you don't have to wear a mask.
I think those
that's
people will
over
still
with.
want to wear
But
them,
those
dude.
people will still wear them.
Well,
We'll still
because
see
Non-player characters, bro.
Yeah.
because
NPCs.
the arguments they make is the same as the whole your phone being spied on. Because remember when that happened, people would go, "Well, you don't have anything to hide, right?"
You're not doing anything wrong,
Right.
are
So
you?
what's the
the big deal?
And the same thing, that same argument with the mask. Like, well, it's not a big deal to put on a mask.
Right.
It's like, well, fuck you.
Right.
It's like, fuck you.
I don't want to do it.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, I think, I don't know. I don't know what the world looks like in like a year or 2 years, but I think there's going to be remnants of COVID that they have to stick around.
Yeah.
There's no way you just like, we defeated COVID. Because what happens, even if there's a vaccine, what are you going to force 360?
They're going to start planning for whatever the next pandemic is.
Well, that's the thing, because they'll be like, look, we were unprepared, so how do we prepare next time? You know, capacity limits, possibly masks, blah, blah, blah. It's whatever, like, the virtue signalers who, like, worship authoritarians, whatever they're willing to go with, that's how we live our lives, you know? But we'll see. I don't know. But we went to the movies. I mentioned that.
Yeah.
Have you gone to the movies, Josh, since they reopened? They kind of closed again. But
I went to the movies one time in 2020 with my girlfriend to see like.
when was this?
Oh man, this was like.
Was this before?
No, this was like April maybe. Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. We went and
Interesting.
saw they made a new Grudge movie. We knew it was going to be bad. We just went to make fun of it and just go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because that was knee deep in coronavirus.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's.
Yeah, it was a
people
new.
thought it was dangerous when we went to the movie.
It was a new Grudge movie. I remember that, and we just laughed the whole time. You know what I mean? There was no one there.
Obviously, theaters shut down, which going to the movies was a big part of my life. Like, I love going to the movies.
I've been to the movies a lot, dude.
And I will
love the
say,
movies.
since they reopened, which a lot of them closed again in Nashville, I know, and probably a lot of other places. Fuck the pandemic. I've been 4 fucking times. I've seen 4 fucking movies. Fuck you.
What all have you seen?
Well, I saw Tenet with them, which that was the biggest one. Seeing an IMAX movie, we'll talk about that in a second. But I saw Tenet. I saw Fat Man, where Mel Gibson played an alcoholic Santa Claus being hunted by a hitman.
That's perfect.
I saw Let Him Go, which was a Kevin Costner movie, and Millhouse. We saw a movie, Unhinged.
Yeah, we did go see
Fat,
that.
angry Russell
Yeah,
Crowe.
I remember that.
Yeah, road rage and Russell Crowe. That was pretty cool. But Tenet, that was one of the biggest releases this year.
Yeah.
Chris Nolan tried to save movies. He failed.
It just got released on DVD
I'm gonna rewatch it,
and
yeah.
streaming.
Yeah.
Which it was a good movie.
Speaking of timelines, you were talking about.
Yeah,
timelines.
no, I mean that movie fits 2020 because it's a mind fuck. It was good. Robert Pattinson was good in it.
Amazing. But it was great. That was actually, you know what? That was one of the best experiences I had in 2020 was when we went to see that because we went and saw it in IMAX, and I hadn't been in a theater in, I mean, almost a year. And to be sitting in an IMAX theater, it's a Chris Nolan movie. You feel the seats shaking with the music and the gunshots. That felt pretty cool. It
Yeah.
felt nice, and that felt the closest to it's a return to normal. We all took our masks off.
We took our mask off. We were eating popcorn, hanging out.
Felt as
That's
close as we
nice.
could get to normal. So that was nice.
And that day, do you remember what else we did that day?
I remember what Millhouse did or didn't do.
What'd you do, Millhouse?
I asked a girl for a number.
How did you do it?
Well, we made a bet.
Who'd you make a bet with?
You.
Uh-huh.
And then I told her about the bet to get her number.
So we made a bet with Millhouse because Millhouse he struggles when it comes to females. You know, it's one of his big challenges in life, and he probably needs years of therapy to figure out what the issue is. You know,
But we're still friends with him anyways.
yeah, we're friends with him anyway. 'cause I
We
don't
accept
care,
him
man,
for
you know?
who he is.
Whether he turns out to be gay or he turns out to be
Trans.
just a lifelong virgin, it's okay. You know what I mean? I don't judge. But we made a bet with him. We're like, look, ask a girl out when we go to the movies. Which, to be fair, asking a girl out in person during a pandemic, pretty badass, dude. Pretty badass.
Way to go, Millhouse.
But loophole Millhouse. What was his loophole, Taylor? I mean, come on.
Well, he struck out the first 2 times, which is noble. I'm not busting the balls over that.
That is no.
Oh, remember the creepy time? He did kind of there was this one girl. This was another big 2020 memory. I almost had to step in because we went to what store was it? Millhouse. Was it
It
PacSun?
wasn't Zoomies. No, it was a shoe store. It's Vans, I think.
Vans.
Was it Vans? It was a shoe store.
I was looking at a Hawaiian shirt. I don't think it was
Oh, no,
Vans.
no,
It was
no.
Zoomies, I think.
No. Yeah, it was.
Whatever.
It was Zoomies. Yeah.
So I'm looking at this Hawaiian shirt with pineapples on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, go ask this girl out. She had purple hair or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
she had
was
purple
kinda
hair.
Cute. I mean, and the way he stalked this girl.
I didn't mean to stalk
I mean, it was
her.
like
I just
Like a
Jaws,
shark?
dude. It was like anywhere she went, you could tell she
Dun,
was
dun.
trying to avoid
Dun,
him.
dun.
He would
Dun,
kind of
dun, dun,
maneuver
dun,
his
dun,
way
dun.
around so he was in her way, but he would never have the balls to talk to her. I almost stepped in because I'm like, I feel bad for this girl because
Because she could smell it.
yeah, because you can tell when girls are uncomfortable and a guy's just sort of sweating profusely and just
Hey, my name is Millhouse.
oh, and
What's
that's
your
the thing.
name?
I thought about that. I'm like, oh my god, when he talks with that accent, it's gonna be like Buffalo Bill shit. Oh, could you help me move this couch? Would you? Oh man.
Dude, I was trying to work up the nerves.
But you did talk to her and you struck out.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean,
I struck
and
out.
it's funny. What did you ask her? What did you say to
I
her?
don't remember, dude.
I think-
I like your jacket.
Yeah, I think that's
Oh,
what he
yeah.
said. He was like real again Buffalo Bill. He was like, "I like your jacket," and she literally, as she's walking away, she's like, "Thanks," and almost booked it away from him.
Dude, I tried my hardest.
But then he went into PacSun.
Okay, that's yeah.
Yep.
Third time. What happened then, Millhouse?
I walked up to this girl and. Okay, for starters, nobody was in that store, so I felt comfortable with it.
Because you had a girl alone. She
Well-
has no defenses.
No, I just knew
No
like
one to scream for
I was
help.
more likely to not. I was more likely to not strike out if nobody was there.
Right, because you can corner her.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
You could chloroform?
That's
Yeah.
no, but I walked up to her and I'm like looking at like some bullshit on the shelf. Not really even looking at it, just trying to get.
He dressed up for this too, by the way.
I did.
He did dress up for
Looking
this.
sharp.
What were
Very
you
sharp.
wearing?
What was I wearing? I was wearing a button up.
It was like skinny.
He went out
jeans
and got
like
new
a
clothes
V-neck
for
Yeah, I
and a
did
V-neck
go-
shirt. I think I
because-
have a picture of you from that day.
Yeah, I went out and got new clothes just for this,
Oh my god.
just so I might have a chance.
Alright, so this girl, you're talking to this girl.
Yeah, I was talking to her and we were just talking about something. Then I told her about the deal that we made.
Yeah.
I told her about the
Pussy
deal.
move.
Yeah, it was a pussy move. I should have just done it. But I told her about the deal, and she was like, I asked her to give me a fake number, but she gave me a real number.
Yeah.
Turns out she has 2 kids.
So what ended up happening with this girl? Because
Well,
you got her number.
Yeah, we texted like on off for like a day, and then she just stopped replying.
So you preyed upon a single mom because you thought she's more vulnerable?
No, no,
That's dark, dude.
I did not. Do
That's
that.
low, bro.
That's predatory, Millhouse.
No, I didn't. do
Mill
that.
House.
Well, you struck out, but Chris Nolan didn't strike out. We like Tenet, right?
Yeah, we liked
Yeah, it was a
it.
good movie.
It was pretty good.
But that was supposed to save theaters. It did not.
It did not save theaters, but we did see a movie that we really loved this year,
What movie's that?
King of Staten Island,
Oh yeah, I was
with Pete Davidson and Bill Burr.
I've yet to see that, dude. I've been
I
wanting
was-
It's
to
good,
see- I've
man.
been
It's a
wanting to
feel-good
see that.
movie.
Yeah,
I
I've been
was
wanting
shocked.
to see that. It
Why
looked
did
good.
we watch that? It was just random, right? We were
Well,
like,
we
let's
were
watch it tonight.
Yeah, we were just like, let's watch it tonight, and we were excited because Bill Burr was in it. It's
Yeah,
a Judd
Bill Burr.
Apatow movie.
It was shockingly good. Like, I mean, there's in the context of 2020, there's not a ton of movies I can be like they were great.
Yeah.
Because that was released right towards the beginning of the pandemic.
I think like July or June, because it was supposed to come out in theaters, and like every movie, they just dumped it on.
Streaming.
Yeah.
So we paid whatever for it.
I would have paid money to go see that in the theater.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure about it because I'm not like a huge Pete Davidson fan. I'm kind of 50-50 on him. But man, that movie was really fucking good.
It had a lot of
Really
heart.
fucking good.
And all of the cast members, like
Steve Buscemi.
Steve
He was
Buscemi,
amazing.
fucking Pam Adlon from
Yeah.
Californication.
Who was the guy who got shot in it?
Action Bronson?
Yeah,
Yeah, he was good.
Action Bronson.
He was funny as fuck. He stole the movie, honestly.
It was hilarious, and it was also like it was almost like a throwback to a lot of those movies you love from like the 90s. You know?
Yeah, it was definitely a feel
Of those
good
like
movie.
young man, like Clerks, and
Coming
Good
of
Will
age.
Hunting. and-
Okay.
Yeah, that was probably. I mean, as far as like great movies I saw this year, I mean, it would be like that. Maybe Tenet. Tenet, I can't say is great. It's good. I just don't understand anything about
Yeah,
it.
it's a fun movie, especially if you eat some edibles or some shit. You'll
That's
have a
what we
good
should have done.
you'll
We
have a good
should've-
time watching it.
Yeah, next time I watch it, I'm gonna try to be high as fuck. But yeah, it was that and King of Staten Island. Maybe Ben Affleck's movie, The Way Back. That was the last one I saw in theaters.
I honestly didn't watch a lot of movies this year.
Yeah.
I did watch Tiger King. I watched that.
Oh, that was this year.
That was- yeah.
How fucked up is it that Tiger King was in 2020?
2020.
And 2020
It feels like 3 years
Everyone
ago.
forgets
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Tiger King was
Tiger
awesome.
King was this year. Tiger King was awesome.
She obviously killed her husband, right?
Oh,
Carol.
yes. Oh, yeah. Carol Baskin, definitely.
Carol Baskin, definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like 2020, she got a free pass because of COVID.
Right.
Bitch, you killed your fucking
Yeah,
husband.
she killed her husband.
Fuck you.
She's getting a ton of free press.
She was on Dancing with the Stars.
Yes!
Right? Or some show. Yeah.
Yes, she was
Like,
on
what
Dancing with the
fuck?
Stars. She killed her.
Fucking
She
murderer.
definitely murdered her husband.
Oh.
100%.
Tiger King. I literally, when I watched Tiger King, I went, this is going to be the craziest thing of 2020.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just ignorant.
For Halloween, everyone was what's his name?
Joe
Exotic. Yeah.
You know who's going to play Joe Exotic? Another big 2020 announcement, Nicolas Cage.
Really?
Yeah, in a miniseries, I think. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. Nick Cage.
There's so many things that happened this year that we could do a 4-hour podcast and not even cover it. But even
Absolutely.
before the pandemic hit, there was 2 big things that happened. One big thing locally, and then one big thing celebrity-wise.
Hit me.
firstly, in Nashville, the tornado.
Yeah.
Jesus, that was this year too.
That was
That
insane.
was 2 weeks before
Fuck.
fucking COVID.
That was insane, man. That
Because-
was 2020.
I remember
Oh my
I
God.
called you because the tornado happened. We were living in another house at the time, and we didn't think anything of it because the sirens go off. It's just like, whatever, it
They
is
go
what
off
it
all
is.
the time. All the time.
Yeah,
near me.
I'm from Indiana, so like tornado. I've been through 2 tornadoes. Like it's just like always it's whatever. You know what I mean when it comes to that.
Then I called you, and I was like, yo, did you hear about this tornado that just happened? And then you were like, yeah, the basement east got fucking destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah, the basement east got destroyed. A lot of the 5 Points area in East Nashville just abolished.
Burned her
man.
up.
People, businesses were closed.
Right
It was.
before the
It
pandemic.
really
That's-
hurt.
Because that
Nashville
was like a
heavy.
shutdown.
Yeah.
Because everyone was like, what is Nashville going to do
Right.
this summer? And then fucking COVID happened.
And, yeah. I mean, Nashville got hit extra hard because of that. You know.
We got a pre-fucking before the
the
fucking.
tornado, then
Yeah.
coronavirus.
It's this year's been so crazy. I forgot about that. I mean, I remember someone came and stayed with me because their whole part of town was just destroyed.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, come because I was fine. Like nothing happened to me.
Yeah, I remember I got an alert on my phone saying like, "Hey, take cover." You know
Yeah,
what
I got
mean?
that, but
Yeah.
you think nothing of it. 'Cause it's like,
Right.
this shit happens all the time.
So I got it, and I woke everyone up in our house, and I was like, "Let's hit the basement. We have a basement," and nothing really happened.
You were close to the fucking radius of the tornado.
It was
dude.
close, but at my house the lights flickered. You know what I mean? And then
Oh, shit,
then
yeah.
you get on
The
Facebook.
wind was really whipping.
Right,
too.
but then you get on Facebook and see, the basement east and 5 Points is destroyed, and I'm gonna be completely honest. That night of the tornado, I partied hard. I was hammered, hammered drunk. And once we realized what happened, all of our roommates woke up, and my roommate at the time, Liam Kelly, he was like, "I want to see this in person," and I was like, "Well, let's go." Like it was like, "I'm hammered. If you drive, I'll go." You know what I mean? So we go to the 5 Points area, and there's people showing up to their businesses, cleaning, seeing what's left. You know what I mean? And we're watching this happen, and first person, and I remember we went to the basement east and Channel 2 News was there and they interviewed Liam and I'm hammered drunk. No one knows this. Now everyone knows this. But I remember, man, just the amount of people that was there on the streets. Because the one big thing that I feel like with Nashville, especially East Nashville, is the community. The community is always there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when we were out there that night of the tornado, there were people, out ready to help. You know what I'm saying? Ready to, what do you need? You know what I mean? And it kind of showed the character of the community of Nashville, especially East Nashville.
Until coronavirus hit. And then everybody started tearing each other to pieces.
Exactly, man. 2020 has been such a weird year, man.
Yeah.
And so much has happened. It's all kind of, compiled up.
The other thing was Kobe Bryant died.
Yeah.
In a
Holy
helicopter
shit.
crash, dude.
Yeah,
that was this year, too.
That was
this year.
January. That was only a few days into January.
That hit hard, man.
Because I remember I was working that day and I had to cover it because it was breaking news. And when they said yo, you got to write this story, Kobe Bryant just died. I remember the whole time I'm writing, I'm like, this is fake. Because the whole thing was he died with his daughter, who's I mean, she was what, 13,
13, 14.
and then there were other kids in the helicopter. And again, you look at that and you're like, this will be the craziest thing that happens this year.
Yeah, that's what it felt like at that
That's
point. The
what it felt
tornado
like at
and that.
point.
That's what it felt like because that was, again, a few days into January. I'm like, wow, 2020 kicking off hard. It's going to be
Yeah.
all downhill from here. Then the storm, and I'm like, oh, fuck it. All right, it's going to be downhill from here.
Right.
And the Australian wildfires happened
Yeah.
this year.
Fuck.
I remember
yeah,
donating
the
money
wildfires.
thinking, oh, this is going to be the big thing.
Were the California wildfires this year too?
Yeah.
The California fires were this year, too, dude.
I forgot about that.
Because
that was huge.
a lot of California burned down. A lot of celebrity homes and businesses and stuff.
And they were actually wildfires, not just riots.
Right. No, those were
Yeah,
Which was another fucking thing that happened.
Yeah, the
is
riots.
every American city, there was even a fucking riot in Nashville.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot
It's
of cities
it's
burned
crazy
down.
that you mentioned that though, Zach, about Kobe Bryant, because I remember I was at the Goodwill here in Madison, and my bandmate Dustin, he came up to me in Goodwill and was like, Kobe Bryant just died in a helicopter crash. And I immediately was like, no, he
That was my
didn't.
reaction, yeah.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
That's a lie. You know what I mean? And I remember getting on Twitter and seeing it, and I didn't have words.
It didn't feel real.
It didn't feel real. Yeah. I was
he-
just like, oh my God. Kobe Bryant can't die from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he was like young. I mean, he was in his 40s,
41,
in
I
good
think.
shape.
Yeah.
41.
Took care of himself.
Yeah, I mean, for our generation, like, even, like, I'm not a huge basketball fan, but, I mean, Kobe Bryant was...
Right.
He was the Michael
When-
Jordan of our
Yeah,
generation.
when you're shooting a paper, ball in the trash can, it's Kobe. You
Yeah,
know what I
Kobe.
mean?
He
Yeah.
was... He reached a level where he wasn't even immortal. He was immortal. It
Yeah.
was like, this guy can do things that no other human being can do. He was our generation's Michael Jordan. And
Absolutely.
it's kind of sad that... not to, obviously, I mean, so many other people have died and other horrible things have happened, but it was kind of crazy that someone that gigantic and important to the culture could die, and then it's like, it's just forgotten right away. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And his daughter, too. The daughter was the saddest
That
thing.
is the saddest
That
thing.
made it hard to even cover it, because I was like, oh, man, because it's not even like just Kobe dies. It's like Kobe dies with his teenage daughter. It was
Right.
horrible.
A true tragedy.
Yeah.
For sure.
R.I.P. Kobe, man.
A lot of other celebrity deaths this year, too.
A lot of
Yeah.
celebrity
And
deaths.
Charlie Pride just died.
Charlie Pride just died.
John Prine.
We lost John
Oh,
Prine.
John Prine.
Bill Withers.
Bill Withers.
Charlie Daniels, right?
Charlie Daniels.
Charlie Daniels. We another country music star, Joe Diffie.
Yep.
There were a lot.
There was a lot of 2020 losses. Man.
Yeah, there's a lot of actors I can't think of too. I can't think of his name, so this is probably not respectful to even say, but Debo from Friday.
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
remember Debo? He just died.
And he was in The Dark Knight.
Yeah, he was the guy
Really?
through the thing out
Yeah,
there.
he was the prisoner in The Dark Knight. Remember that scene where they're on the two ferries
And they have the
the
switch.
Joker is trying to get them
Yes.
to choose who dies?
And he's like, "Give it to me," and he throws it out.
Yeah.
there. Oh man. Yeah.
Because you think he's going to press the
I'm
button.
gonna look up his name real quick. Keep talking. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people died this year that like nobody even paid attention because it was just like,
Yeah,
man,
it all
we
kind
got
of
so much
compiles
shit going
together.
on, you know.
Yeah. It's been a rough year. It's been a rough year for a lot of people. A lot of people are out of work.
Yeah.
They're on the verge of losing their homes. They lost their jobs. They've lost family members. You know, it's been a real fucking mind fuck.
Well, yeah,
Tiny
man.
Lister Jr. I'm sorry, keep
That's
going.
who it
Josh.
is.
Yeah,
That's-
Tiny
yeah.
Lister Jr. Okay.
But I feel like one big thing with 2020 that I feel like people are talking about it, but not enough people are talking about it. Is just straight up just the mental health of everyone, man.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's
That
just
is-
the isolation. You know what I mean? We
we're-
need to be around
yes.
people.
100%. For me in the pandemic, it's been I've been just coping with it and just realizing, okay, some days I'm just going to feel depressed right now.
Yeah.
Because the state of the world, and that's totally fucking fine, you know?
I feel like recently is when they've actually, like, the media has actually started to pay attention to this because now you're hearing about people committing suicide and
Suicide rates are up. Alcoholism is up. Everything is up.
that was my first thought when we shut down. Maybe I talked to you about this. Maybe I talked to someone else about it. But my first thought was, fuck, like, you're shutting everything down. What happens to people who are like, who right before that went, I'm going to get clean.
Right.
I'm going to get sober. I'm going to stop doing heroin. I'm going
Right.
to stop doing whatever.
Who are right on the edge.
Right on the
It's
edge
like
of
those
quitting.
people, when they did that shutdown, that was my first thought is I'm
Yeah.
like, you just murdered people because
They're gonna want to go right back to it.
you can't isolate those people.
Yeah.
I mean, some people, even me, like I feel like I can handle isolation. Like
We were
I-
made for this world.
Yeah, I was made for. I mean, fuck. I work from home. Like I don't give a fuck. I hate people. You know what I mean? But I just know in my head enough about people to be like, this is so dangerous, especially for kids. I mean, I have stepsisters. When I went back to Maine during the pandemic, by the way, fuck COVID. They were telling me about school and like just virtually learning and stuff.
Right.
I would have said fuck that. If this would have happened when we were kids,
Yeah.
I would have been like, sorry, I don't have a computer or my internet's
Well,
not
me
working.
too. But what I'm saying is like at their age, they're not even high school. They're junior high or something. It's just like that's an age where you can't be like pulled from people, and they're not learning anything. And I felt bad because
That's
like,
a big part of like human development. You know what I mean?
So that's
Being around other people. Yeah.
I'm curious to see what the effects are going to be on kids, and then also like I feel like a year or two from now we're going to see the stats about suicides, drug addicts, and all that shit. And
yeah, I just can't imagine like a high schooler or even someone in college, like this was their senior year.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Like having a virtual prom. Not that like that shit meant anything to me, but I am like I mean
you were the prom king, dude.
I was prom king. No big deal. But it was like I can watch that stuff and be like when I saw that virtual shit where it's like, oh, my daughter can't go to the prom, so I'm her dad and I'm going to dance with her. I would just be like, this is fucking not healthy.
That's not healthy, no.
This is just fucking weird.
Yeah, you just skip out on prom.
Yeah.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, that's shit that I don't think we'll see the full effects of for a couple of years. Because no one talked about it.
No,
it wasn't a big deal to anybody.
There's going to be so many long-term effects from COVID. It definitely had me rethink my life. But I never really felt like I had a moment of doubt necessarily. You know what I mean? It kind of reaffirmed me in some ways.
What do you mean doubt?
Of like the path that I'm on in life.
Oh, yeah.
In the career that I'm trying to pursue, trying to do music, trying to do the podcast, trying to do all the shit that I'm doing. Because it was like there was a 2-week period where I didn't do anything at all, where I did just watch Netflix and I did just hang out. Because once the pandemic hit, I was like, wow, I've been out of high school for 10 fucking years and I haven't stopped since I've started.
Yeah.
Like, no fucking vacations. It was always just like, I'm going for it. I'm doing it.
Well, one thing I'll ask, because I mean, I'm the same way. It's not like I had any moment during the pandemic where I'm like, oh, maybe I'll do this. Like, no. But I am curious, because one thing I felt like this year, I'm not going to say it's because of COVID, because it's an amalgamation of things. Like I put out a book in 2019 and
about the end of the world.
Yeah, about the end of the world, and then the
audiobook coming
ends.
soon.
Yeah, thanks, Millhouse. But so I mean, when you're done with one project, especially with a book, like you're just kind of throwing shit at the wall and stuff. But I didn't feel like I could focus on anything enough this year. I'd get like 40, 50 pages of something, and you know, I didn't focus enough to actually finish anything. But one of the things I thought towards the end of this was, did you guys feel like that writing was harder because of the pandemic? Because there was a feeling of, shit, is this relevant?
Yeah.
Because do I acknowledge what's happening? Do I wait till it's over? Because that's something that I kind of started to struggle with. I'm like, I have to, and the thing I am writing, I did sort of acknowledge COVID in a slight way, but that was something I was thinking, is like writing was a little bit harder, creating was a little bit harder, because the world was changing week to week.
Right.
So what do you do that's relevant?
Yeah,
what do you
The
say
world
that's
was changing
relevant?
day to day.
Yeah, your
when this
mood
first
is
started.
kind of different day to day. You know what I mean? Just because as the news was changing, you're like, you know, obviously creating different opinions about shit. And
It's just like, do I ignore this?
yeah, do I ignore it?
Yeah.
Do I, you know, try to go off something else? Yeah, writing was hard this year, man.
Yeah.
It was, you know, we had all this time to create, but also at the same time, your emotions were like, you know, all over the place.
Well, that's the thing. That's why, I mean, I was happy to do the podcast with you, because it was something creative we could do.
We were just so fucking bored. We were like, what can we do?
Well, do you remember what spurred it? Was watching Shawshank Redemption.
Is that what it was?
Because I remember Taylor was calling me and he was talking about being a little bit depressed and stuff, and I was like, you know what, man? Every time I'm depressed, I watch Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
That's my go-to.
Well, it was a day that you were depressed. I'm like, dude, I'm coming over tonight to watch Shawshank.
Yeah, because I told you about it, and you're like, all right, I'm coming over.
And you were like, no, I don't want to hang out. And I'm like, we're watching
Yeah.
Shawshank.
Yeah, I remember that was one of those nights I was like, I don't want to fucking see you. Just leave me alone. But yeah, that was what spurred it on. So that was nice to do that. Like, you did have all this time to be creative, but again, creating something new, especially as a writer, like it was kind of hard, because I was just like, what's relevant? What do I have to say that's relevant? And that speaks to, there was all this time to create. But like when we sit down and we're like, oh, what music did you like this year? What movies did you like this year? There's really not much, because I feel like artists were put in this sort of limbo. You know what I mean? You can fight the limbo and still make something. You could be Michael Bay and, you know, film a whole fucking movie during the pandemic, but we ain't all fucking Michael Bay. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Well, I had written 2 really good songs that I'm proud of and a couple of other ones. And I feel like I was internalizing the COVID thing. Like everyone is going super macro with it. They try to make it about politics and how fucked up Biden was or how fucked up Trump was, whatever it was. And it was just like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like I had written 2 songs, one that was like a positive one and one that was kind of more somber. And I hadn't written anything in a while. And I hadn't written any songs in a while, but I was just so fucking bored that I was left with no other options but to work on music.
Yeah, man, and that's kind of how it was for me. Also, like the band that I'm in, we changed our name.
Name drop. What's the new name?
The Reveal.
Old name.
No Name Blues.
The artist formerly known as
the
No Name
artist
Blues.
formerly known as No Name Blues. We changed our name to The Reveal because we had so much time. You know what I mean?
And COVID fucked things up for your solo shit that we've literally now been working on, trying to do 2 songs, record them for 9 months.
Yeah, I was going to say, we started this in 2020, did we not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We started talking about it last year. I remember calling you this time last year, and I'm like, yo, do you still want to do solo stuff? Because we had been talking about it for a little while because I'm playing bass and producing it and all that. And you were like, yeah, man, let's do it. And that happened in March. I remember the plan originally was to record early in the year.
Right.
Record in March. That was our original game plan.
Have it out by May.
And have it out by May.
Yep.
And that fucked everything up because at first we thought everybody was going to die.
Yeah.
So we couldn't get together.
Like, we're not getting together.
And we also, James got COVID. James Varner, who's drumming on the project.
Twice.
He got it. Yeah, he kept testing positive.
Yeah.
So he wasn't doing anything for like a month and a half. Millhouse got it. I got it. So every time we went to go schedule something, someone got COVID or just a 2020 circumstance happened.
Yeah, dude. I've been scared. I've taken 2 COVID tests. I feel like this is like Final Destination. Yeah. And I'm the last one. But I've taken 2 COVID tests. I'm negative each time. Yeah. So
Immune Brothers. Here you go.
Dude.
Here you go.
Yeah, dude.
We should say for people who haven't gotten COVID tests what the COVID test was like.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, basically what happened is me and Millhouse's roommate got COVID, so we went and got tested. And you have to pull up to the site. We went to the one over by Nissan Stadium in downtown Nashville. You pull up. They stick the shit in your nose. I was actually positive on the time we went. The time we went together, because I was feeling fine.
Well, that's why I got tested 3 times. Because if you remember, I didn't have a car.
You didn't have a car at the time.
I have a very nice car now, but at the time, I did not have. This car I had was a piece of shit. It broke down, and for a while, I didn't have a car. So when Millhouse is like, "Yo, dude, I got COVID," or no, it was you first, right?
Yeah, I was like,
"I got COVID.
We got to get tested for COVID."
And I'm like, well, "Fuck, dude, I can't get tested. I got to go with you." And what is it, Millhouse?
I don't understand how I got COVID on a different month. I didn't get it when they had it.
I know.
That's what's fucked.
I don't know.
I got
also,
in
those
November.
tests. This is the other thing about those tests. When they do those tests, they swab your nose. But because it's the free test, they're not the most reliable tests. It's basically like you're more likely to have COVID or you're more likely not to have COVID. That's why you can go to those like 2 days in a row and get a positive test and a negative test. But yeah, I went with you. You got a positive, I got a negative. But then I'm like, well, I was in the car with him. He was sucking my dick, so I got to go again. Then I got a negative, and then Millhouse got it.
And you sucked Millhouse's dick. That's why neither of you got
No,
it.
he sucked my dick also. You got that mixed up. And then I had to go again. This was when I actually had a car, so I could go by myself. And negative again. So, but yeah, those tests are. It's fucking weird, man. There's some people that they're obsessed with getting those. They show up like every fucking week, you know.
Yeah.
I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm done. I'm not getting tested anymore. I'm done with the tests. I'm not getting fucking tested anymore.
Right.
My former boss gets tested like once a week.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Terrified of it.
That's just crazy. Living in fear.
That's kind of how it's been, man.
That's been the other thing with COVID is anybody who fears whatever is going on in society or in the world, that was just amplified by a million.
That's the thing. Like when I was mentioning those people giving me shit about doing things, this is why things are not going to like take this shift to normal, because people who are afraid of COVID, there is no answer to their fear.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because the only answer to them would be 7 billion people all getting vaccinated, that vaccine being 100% protective, which no vaccine is. Even this vaccine they have now is like
Exactly.
95%. And then those people then regularly being vaccinated every 90 days or whatever, we're never going to live in that world. So people who are afraid of COVID, there's no answer to their fear. COVID was just an excuse for their fear. They'll
Right.
find a new excuse pretty soon.
Yeah.
You know?
Whatever it may be.
Yeah, whatever it is next. I mean, it's just like, again, like we went from terrorism to spying to Russia to COVID.
Yeah,
Russia,
to
Russia.
to
Yeah.
COVID to Black Lives Matter.
There's
to-
always got to
Yeah.
be something because this is, not a popular
Some
opinion.
shadow enemy in the background.
Yeah, because there's, I think, a large portion of the population, and it's amplified by social media and just the world we live in now. They have to belong to groups. They have to feel like they're living in the end of the world. They have to feel like they're up against
It
an
gets them
enemy
off.
to validate their existence. Yeah, they can't just be them, because it's not enough.
Because they have corporate jobs and,
And COVID,
their life sucks. They're not
COVID
happy
helped.
with it.
COVID helped.
Yeah. It gave them permission for their already normal behavior. Like 80% of the population just sits at home and watches Netflix anyways. All they were fucking doing is now they were baking fucking sourdough bread.
Right.
That was the only difference when COVID hit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then they could throw it in everyone's face, like, I'm saving lives.
by staying at home.
It's like, well,
doing
fuck
nothing
you.
with
Are
myself.
you saving lives?
I just hate people fucking using this as an excuse to not try and better themselves under the current circumstances, because it ain't going to be the way that it was. It ain't going to be any of your plans that you had out the fucking window. You have to adapt to whatever's going on now.
Yeah, 2020, I feel like, really taught everyone how to adapt.
Well, it taught some people how to adapt.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
people had to
Yeah.
adapt. Some people to know, like, okay, to be able to make it and to still feed myself every day, this is what I'm going to have to do. And for, like what you were saying, for some people, this is an excuse.
Yeah. Well, you're either Tom Cruise screaming at crew members or you're the crew member.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I would rather be Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Mask or no mask, Scientology, no Scientology, gay or straight. I'd rather be going to space to
Right.
make a movie.
I'd rather be jumping on Oprah's couch.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Any final 2020 thoughts?
What do you got, Josh?
Leaving 2020 behind us, man. 2021, dude, starting fresh. I feel like this is the year, like what you were saying, Zach, this is the year for art, man. 2021. This is the year for art, dude, where I feel like we're going to see more music, more movies, more, everything that involves with art with 2020, because it was 2021, because it was hit the hardest in 2020. But I feel like that's the hope for 2021. And RIP 2020.
Don't rest in peace. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
2020.
Yeah, I'd say 2020, I mean, it could have been worse for me personally.
Yeah, it could
Could have been worse. Absolutely.
Could have been worse.
I'm glad it's over. 2021, I hope it is the year of art.
Yeah,
I hope that
the year of art.
I hope that there's just shit to focus on in 2021 that's not a fucking virus or a presidential election.
The new Batman movie.
New Batman movie, yeah,
That's pretty exciting.
That's coming. Yeah, there's a lot of shit coming in 2021 that I'm excited for. I hope, I know there's going to be remnants of this year that stick around, but I hope 2021, those who did figure out 2020 and kept their shit together and realized what they had to do, I hope they get some real shit done in 2021.
Real talk also, 2021, the world isn't going to magically change. You know what I mean? Here's the other thing that I think. Everyone thought once the election happened, and I even thought this, but once it started getting down to the wire with the election, I realized, okay, doesn't matter who's fucking president, because there's no going back.
It doesn't matter. It never did matter.
It never did matter. In 2021, the year's the same way. It's a physical way for a fresh start, but you can change right fucking now.
Yeah, you can.
Don't change on New Year's Day, because you're gonna fuck yourself if you
Right.
try.
Change
Start
right
getting ready
now.
now. Start with a new routine right now.
Amen.
And try and get things done, because the only way to make things happen is by making them happen.
Right. By yourself.
By yourself. Check out my song Gina Gina Gina, available everywhere now. Streaming on all platforms. Follow me on Instagram, _Poptimist. And also check out Zach and I's podcast, Man of Science, Man of Faith.
Yes, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud. Check it out.
Where can people find you, Zach?
I'm on Twitter at Writing Lehman, Instagram and Facebook, Zachary Lehman. Buy my book. It's about the end of the world, so it's a real uplifter. Nigh on Amazon.
Audiobook coming soon.
Yes.
Josh?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at _North NORF_pull. My band, The Reveal, we have an album that we put out this year called Do You Know? Be sure to go stream it and check out our new video, She's Bad. It's up available now. And follow us and look for other new stuff coming in 2021.
Millhouse.
You can find me on Instagram at Taylor Dawson Miller. Or you can also talk to me on my other page, Trashman Studios.
I was wondering if you was going to promote your Finsta page that you got going.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Millhouse also sells socks and underwear.
Right.
Nah.
You have to pay me directly. Feel free to Venmo me.
Yeah.
I accept all payments and handle his money
I didn't
on that
follow
front.
him back on the Finsta of I Lick Dick Pops 33.